Hey everybody, hope everyone's doing well. Welcome back to Baseline Farms. My name is Jade, and it has been a while since I've posted a new vlog. And I haven't really been out here in the garden ever since Orange Chicken passed away. It's just been really hard for me. And I've had him for 10 years. And really, my daughter bought Orange Chicken, our goat, our pygmy goat. And his death was quite sudden to me. I was not even expecting it. It looked like he was getting better. He was just so full of mucus, and his health decreased really fast. So it's just taken me a while to get used to him not being here. I mean, we had our dog for about 20 years when he passed away. He was about 20 years old. And that was difficult too, but we kind of expected it because he was getting really old. But for our pygmy goat, I just wasn't expecting him to catch a cold and pass away right before Christmas. So, and that's again, oh my gosh, Christmas week. Today is Christmas week. Can you believe it? Holy moly. I just can't even believe where the time has went. So, yeah, so since Orange Chicken's passing, I have completely cleaned out the stall because I didn't want any of our chickens to get sick. So what I ended up doing was bleaching everything out, bleaching their water trays, cleaning up all the sod that's in there. And we don't really know what kind of infection it was. The vet just said it was an upper respiratory infection. And on goats, it tends to happen, it's just really rapid. So once they catch a cold, he says, you would never know. I would have never been able to tell that if he was going to survive or not. That's not my, obviously that wasn't my intention for him to pass away. But yeah, I don't know. As a pet owner, as a farmer, you just kind of wish you take different precautions before it happened. And I wish had I called the vet right away, would that have made a difference? I don't know. But it's been quite quiet on the farm without him here. And he was he protected our chickens. So he stayed in the chicken coop with the chickens, and he protected the chickens. So now I have to really lock them up and lock everything up so that way nothing goes and disturbs the chickens at night. So that's been kind of new, and having to get up early to let them out as well. Maybe, I don't know, maybe one of these days I'll get another goat, so that way, I don't know, we'll see. That's, I don't know, we'll see. But I haven't been out into the garden in quite a bit, so there is just a lot happening. We got a huge order from a nursery because we're going to do some planting in some job locations, and so I am going to get these plants all ready and take them and divide them up for different job locations. But I wanted to give you a tour because I think the last vlog I've done was December 5th. And so I wanted to give you a little tour of how the garden is doing in this cold weather. Oh my goodness. Okay, you guys. So it has been so stinking cold. And it's been probably about 30, 31 degrees almost every morning. Let me adjust this tripod real fast. And so things have been frozen, and it's so cold. The garden has been frozen. It's just been crazy cold. And so let's just go and show you how everything's doing. Okay, so over here, let me adjust this. Oh my goodness. So over here is a raspberry bush. Oh, there you go. Okay. And so this is the blackberry right here. And the blackberry bush is doing really, really good. It has gotten some new growth. The new growth is growing really well and super healthy. So that is so exciting. And then we have this one right here, which is a raspberry bush. And the raspberry bush is not doing too well. So what I'm going to do is wait until it completely goes dormant. And I'm going to do some research on it, because I've done it before. Let me see. I think this is it. This is raspberry shortcake. So let me see when we're supposed to, when we can move it. I think we're supposed to move it in the springtime, but I could be wrong. So I'm just going to double check before I take it out of here because I don't want it to I don't want it to kill it. I don't want to kill it. All right, so that's how this little container is doing. And then over here are our red and yellow onions, and those are doing so well. Look how good they're doing. They're doing so good. So I cannot wait to get some onions. We use a lot of onions in all of our dishes, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how that goes. Now, we haven't done anything with the Jerusalem artichokes that we harvested yet. I am going to try pickling them. John's aunt has a pickle recipe for those Jerusalem artichokes, so I'm going to go ahead and ask her for that recipe. I believe she's coming over for Christmas. Hank's over here. Look at him. Everyone else is in the garden. Basil's in the garden. The kitty's in the garden, but I got to let him in. Come on. Okay. So, don't want to leave them left out. But yeah, I haven't done anything with the beds. And honestly, I haven't really been out here at all. I mean, since the whole orange chicken thing, it's so sad. I just feel so bad. But all of the carrots are doing extremely well. As I'm looking through, I do have to thin some of them out. I tried to do a pretty good job when I seeded them to put them far apart, so I don't think I had to do that much thinning. But all of the carrots are coming in. All of the spinach is coming in really nicely. So that's so awesome. It looks like this spinach over here is doing better than the spinach that we planted earlier in the season. So that's good to know. And then look at this guy. He is just so needy. Okay, so over here is the garlic, and the garlic is doing extremely well. I cannot wait to see how much garlic I get, what it looks like, and how it tastes. So it's all the good things. So I cannot wait for that. And I mean, it looks pretty bare in here. There's not a lot of much going on, especially when I get rid of all of these plants. Then it's really gonna look naked in here. But over here is the lemongrass soup. Oh, lemongrass. And it's doing pretty good. So I just kind of leave it. I haven't really watered anything. Everything's been staying pretty moist. And it has been, it did rain quite a bit. We did have a lot of rain. It wasn't enough to fill up the pond, but it was a good amount. And I guess we're supposed to have some more rain on Monday, so we'll see. But for the most part, everything's been staying pretty moist. So this is the lettuce bed. We have not been eating a lot of lettuce. Matter of fact, I've just been making a lot of soups. So, but I'm just going to take these ones that are kind of bolting right here, and I'm just going to take them and give them to the chickens. But that's how the little lettuce patch is doing. See, in the back there, I had a bunch of spinach planted. I started them from seed. I just sowed them into the garden bed. And it's just not doing well. So I don't know if if it has anything to do with what's going on in the soil. Oh my goodness. Basil was eating grass and now she's puking her guts out over there. So disgusting. But I don't know why this, I think I need to fertilize it. I think that's why it's not doing well. So I don't remember the last time I fertilized the garden. So I'm probably going to have to do that. Because even though it is cold, I do fertilize. Not as much as I do in the summertime, but in the wintertime, I do fertilize maybe once. And then I just let it go. But all of the broccoli is doing so good. Now I planted a few different varieties of broccoli in here, and I have to go through my list and see which ones I planted. Oopsie daisy. There we go. And so some of them, my goodness, like this one right here, look how good this one's doing. Look at that. It's doing so well. I don't see any crown or anything like that yet. Is that aphids? No. What is that? Okay. I thought I saw some aphids in there, but it was nothing. Is that aphid? I don't know. Let me take a look. No, it's just too cold to have aphids, so I don't know. It's looking really good. Oopsie daisy. It's doing really, really good. Everything here is doing excellent. Wow, they're just looking so healthy. I cannot wait to see how the flowers look. That's so exciting. So we have been eating on the turnips, and look at that tiny little baby celery right there. There's just barely any celery growing in those spots. My goodness, I have not been out here at all, and the flower beds are looking pretty rough. So I'm going to save the rest of the turnips for Christmas, and then I'm going to clear out the rest of these tomato plants. And then as far as the celery, I'm just going to go ahead and let it go. Let me give you a better look of what it looks like. Here you go. Do you see that? Oh my goodness. Get here. Okay, so do you see that? Look at that. Just tiny little guys right there. So, yeah. Maybe I should have planted them a little earlier. Yeah, I think I should have planted them a little earlier. And also, the turnips did get quite big where the leaves were covering them, so maybe they didn't get enough sun also. I'm not too sure. But I did plant celery. This is my second time planting celery. The first time I planted celery, I didn't plant this many. And it was just a couple little stalks. And those grew pretty well, so I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it takes a little bit longer, or maybe it just I just planted them late. Maybe I just started the seeds later. Because if I could remember correctly, when I planted them last year, I did start the seeds quite earlier, and it was sunny. It was warmer out, so that's probably it. But the carrots over here are doing really, really good. I have a couple rows. I think there's 4 rows of carrots in here. You can see that. I have one on this side, here, here, and here. And they're doing extremely well. Now, I did give a couple of these carrots to some of our crew. And so, yeah, we still have quite a bit. And I think we're going to use some of this for Christmas for like stuffing or something like that. So they are doing so well. I am so pleased with how these carrots are doing. And we did do a couple different varieties as well. And so they're doing extremely well. All of the carrots are good for a cold season. And so, yeah, they're pretty easy to grow. I cannot wait. And they taste so delicious. So I recommend, if anyone wants to try growing a good fall crop, carrots are the way to go. Because that is the most easiest crop to grow. Along with, let's see, what was easy for me? Obviously, the garlic and the onions are pretty darn easy. And the turnips were so easy. So definitely next year, I wish I knew that the turnips were so easy to, oh, no, you did not. Just bit me. And so I think next year I'm just going to succession sow a couple more rows of, oh my goodness, this kitty, of turnips. So that way I could have a good amount throughout the season. So that's how this is going. And other than that, everything's going really well. The Myers lemon right here, nothing, but the leaves are doing good. It still has leaves. But other than that, no lemons. So hopefully we get some lemons maybe in the springtime. I hope. But other than that, everything seems to be growing well. The things that do like this cold weather are doing really well. But so many things I need to clean up. The beds are just looking so messy. We had a really bad windstorm. We had a ton of rain, and almost every morning it's been foggy out. And the fog is still, you can kind of still, it's a little hazy still. But the fog has stayed all day until the evening. And so it's been quite nuts. But that is what is happening. Oh, let me show you what's happening in the little garden. The little garden, all the onions are growing in. It's looking good, full with onions. So that's awesome. Gotta let out all my animals. So that's really good. And that's pretty much it. The chickens are doing good. They're adjusting. I could tell they're really sad because when Orange Chicken passed away, that night, the day before, that evening, I came out because, you know, I noticed that he lost some weight, so I felt that maybe he wasn't warm enough. So I brought him an old quilt and was going to cover him in a quilt. And so I did. I covered him in a quilt, and that's when I noticed that his breathing was just off and everything about him was just off. And in the morning time, I walked in there, and he was still covered in the blanket, and all of the chickens were literally surrounding him, silent, looking at him. So that was the craziest thing. I've never seen such a thing before. And then one by one, they slowly walked out of the chicken coop, almost like saying goodbye. So it was kind of crazy to see that, because I've never seen that. And he has been a legend, you know, the goat named Orange Chicken. So yeah, it's been quite nuts around here without him being here. I've been quite sad. Okay, so yeah, here is the onion garden, and everything is doing really, really good. As you can see, everything's growing so nicely. So these are all the red onions, and then over here we have some more garlic right there. Right there is all the garlic. I did not cut down any of the eggplant yet, so I definitely need to work on that. Oh my goodness, I'm in some technical difficulties. The blackberry bush right here is doing really, really good, just like the one in the other garden. Let me show you. Let me see that right here. Yeah, so this one's doing really good, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait to get some raspberries. These are my, I think these are called hellebores. Is that right? Yeah, I believe these are called hellebores. I've had these hellebores for, I want to say, since the beginning of the landscaping, since we first got into landscaping. And I have just used them in different sites and up potted them, put them into pots, and I've used them so many different times. So they're pretty hardy. I didn't know if they were going to be able to handle it, but they are pretty hardy plants. And their flowers so pretty. So if you want some beautiful interest in your garden for the wintertime, those hellebores are the way to go. I just pulled those out from some containers at one of the job sites. But these are how all the onions are doing. They're doing extremely well. I have some yellow onions in here, and then I have some purple onions, and everything's doing really well. Same thing with this side. Let's see if I can turn you around. Yeah, same thing with over here. All the onions are doing really, really good. These are all white onions. This is a red onion. And so far so good. Cannot wait to see how they taste. Now last year we did grow some red onion, and they turned out really, really good. So I cannot wait to see what this year's, harvest is going to look like. But that's pretty much it. I am going to go through and sort out all our plants. So we just got a plant order right over there. And so now I'm going to start up the tractor, go to the big garden, load up some plants, bring them out here, and divide them all up for all the different job sites. Plus, I want to do a couple little containers in front of the house and get everything ready for Christmas and make the house look really nice and festive for all our family to come and have a good time. I cannot wait. So I think that's pretty much everything that's going on the farm. John's off at the parks. It's super muddy, so he hasn't been able to work out there. And yeah, that's pretty much what's been happening. I've been making lots of bread. Lots and lots of bread. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to show you some of the breads that I have made, because I am pretty darn impressed with myself, to say the least. I made a little loaf that looks like a little pumpkin, and it's so stinking cute. So I'm just so proud of myself that, yeah, I've accomplished that goal, and I've been making bread like mad. And I think I make bread probably a good, maybe once a week. I make about 2 loaves. I think the other day I made 4 loaves, and they're gone. They're gone. So yeah, I don't know if I'm just making so much bread and John's just eating it all because he can't. It's so delicious. But that is what's happening on the farm. All the animals are doing good. I've cleaned up everything, disinfected everything to make sure that Bella doesn't get sick and none of the chickens get sick. And other than that, everyone seems to be pretty healthy, and so far so good. So I hope everyone has a wonderful, safe Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody. And I will see you soon. I will see you in the next video. Take care, be safe, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.